Hey everybody, welcome to Bura. In this episode, I'm going to be asking the question, did Udemy have a good IPO start or not? Alright, welcome back. First in this video, make sure they like, subscribe. The more subscribers you get, the more content we can make. Number one reason why you subscribe to this amazing YouTube channel is to get the money-making trends before they go mainstream. Alright, so let's take a look at Udemy. So Udemy had an IPO day, and as you can see, well, it went down and then up a little bit. And you know what? Basically, it had a kind of mediocre day. I'm going to be diving in to what this here is here, but you can see here that we had, I'm going to be looking at mostly this article here, and I'm going to be giving you my thoughts. Okay, of course, this is my thoughts as a person that's been on Udemy, well, since, well, basically since 2010 or 2011 here. It's coming up to my 10 years in November. So there we go. And let's take a look at this article here. So it says, education ed tech company Udemy falls into view after a 421 million IPO. Now, this article, I'm just going to kind of sum it up here. It's like, it was basically a little lackluster. And we'll take a look at this here. It says, education technology company Udemy Inc. fell 5.2% on its first day as a public company, and the bottom of a class debut in a banner year for US listings. Okay, so basically what they're trying to say here is that there was a lot of good IPOs this year, and Udemy wasn't one of them. Now, another IPO that I invested in personally was Coinbase, because, you know, I think Coinbase is going to be really good. And then I was basically a bag holder until recently when I sold out of it. And, you know what, I don't know whether it was a good idea to sell out of it, but nevertheless, bag holding for a month isn't very good. So you can see here, it started at 29, and then it closed at 27.50. Now, one of the things that Udemy is probably going to follow is going to be following Upwork, because there were some investors that overlapped between Upwork and Udemy. So because of that, I expect the performance to do the same, right? So if we go to, I think it's Upwork. Yes, Upwork here. So as you can see, like if we do like a year here, 5 years, right? So you can see that it started in 2019. So this went down about 70% from its IPO, and then it went back up here. And then obviously this was during the pandemic as remote work, and then you can kind of see it's here. Now, I use Upwork every single day. I think that's awesome here. And look at the percentage here. It's up 1,000. You basically got a 10 bagger at some point in time. Now, of course, can you time the bottom? No, you cannot here. So basically everything was falling, and then something kicked off here. And then that was April 3rd, 2020, which was obviously the pandemic. And then things went up here, right? And so it's kind of interesting because like even in, you know, like January, February, things went down a bit. But it didn't really go down that, well, I guess it went down 50% if you were holding there. And then it went up again. So I expect something similar to happen with Udemy. Now, whether it's going to go down 70% from its IPO is anybody's guess here. But, you know, I do expect Udemy to, I do expect Udemy to go up something like this at some point in time. You'll be able to go here and pick the bottom, and you'll probably get a 10 bagger. Now that's all, of course, if they make the right decisions. And the whole reason I'm making these videos is for investors and, well, basically just to make sure that my point is heard, right? Because I have a difference of opinion in what Udemy should be, right? And a lot of that has to do with the way they treat the marketplace, they treat instructors, and this is from, again, a person who's been working with Udemy for over 10 years. Lots of people have come and gone. I've stuck around, and, well, you know, my company itself has made millions of dollars. That's, of course, partly thanks to Udemy, partly thanks to my work ethic, partly thanks to being in the right industry at the right time. And, you know, we made millions of dollars, and we sold over 1 million courses. So I really do know what I'm talking about. And this is, of course, off of multiple platforms. It's not on Udemy here, right? So let's take a look here. So here's the thing. So what they're trying to say in this section here is that there's you know they have a bunch of investors in edtech, and then you can see here that you know, it provides the courses and it has a lot of users. And it's trying to make a corporate push, okay? The risk factors acknowledge that it's a highly competitive market, includes Coursera, Inc., Pluralsight, and LinkedIn Learning, okay? Now, you'll notice that like pretty much like Pluralsight and LinkedIn Learning are subscriptions, so they're gonna try and compete with it. But again, they don't need to do that. I made a whole video on why Kickstarter marketplace is way better than Udemy's, and Udemy should just follow that here. And I'm gonna be doing another video on how basically a public benefit company could, in theory, take Udemy down, right? And that's going to be a video that you're definitely not going to want to miss. It's this whole video, and I'm preparing it because there's a lot of things to prepare in there. But like, it's a whole video. I'm very excited to do it here. But basically, yeah, there's the competition is huge, and they need to make the right decisions. And the thing that they're trying to do, which is the wrong decision, is to make to add in like a global subscription to the top learners. That's the worst thing they can do. The absolute worst thing to do. What they should do before their next quarterly meeting, which I'm not quite sure when it's going to happen, but they should just get rid of it. And I'm going to mention that here. Okay. And there's a lot of reasons for that here. So this here, it's saying that it wasn't that big of a debut. Well, you have to remember that, like, what does Udemy do? It provides a place where people can go ask courses. Now, how sexy is that? Not very, right? But here's the thing about the e-learning business, right? And this is, again, from all my 10 years of experience, is that it's a really, like, the upside, it's a very solid business, right? And the upside sometimes isn't there as much as you'd like it to be, but it's very solid. In fact, sometimes, when I think things are going, when things are going bad elsewhere in the world, my company just keeps on trucking along, right? And the same thing is going to happen with this. People are always going to want to learn, and online education here to stay. And the courses on Udemy are pretty good, right? Like, the top instructors are pretty good. Now, of course, there's like a mountain of terrible courses on Udemy, but that's fine. Like, you go to the App Store or anywhere else, there's a lot of that that's there. That's just the way marketplaces work. But that's not what this is supposed to be here. What's really supposed to be when it comes to Udemy and Udemy's business is that people will come back again and again and again. And part of that, and in order to do that, they're actually doing a lot of the right moves. But the biggest issue, in my opinion, is that the marketplace is not scalable. I've talked about this again, and I almost should mention it every video, but I'll make another video on why that's such a big problem. And once they make the marketplace scalable, they get rid of the personal subscription, and they make UFB do whatever it does, as there's a hard line in between the marketplace and UFB. If they do that, then I expect Udemy to be quite good. But I suspect that Udemy will probably go down before it goes up. But who knows what happens with the stock market here. But if you really like Udemy, then I would just dollar cost average it, right? So you put a position in today, and then every month or so you just put in more and more money, because I think that it will be worth more in the future. It all depends on whether or not the investors, like the original investors, want out or not. And after the lockup period, if they want out, then you'll see. And then I'm going to be doing a whole other video about that, all right? So that concludes this video. Thanks for watching. If you are an investor or you want to invest, I do have my consultation contact information down below. You can always check it out right there. Also, if you really like this channel doesn't do Patreon, so we sell our digital products and our online courses down below. The more we get from the content you buy below, the more content on this channel we can make. If you really like this channel, you can subscribe to Man Interactive's huge library of content. We release 20-60 hours of fresh new content per month, every single month. And with your help, our goal is to get to 10,000 paid subscribers, and then I can release 200 to 300 hours of content per month every single month.